hands on my hips. Hello, I am known as Art K on the Model Engine Maker forum. In any normal show, this would be my setup on my table, with my badges showing which shows I've gone to, and my local show, the Badger Steam and Gas Show in Baraboo, Wisconsin, which is usually in August. From those to books, from Malcolm Stride's book, or Herschel Smith's book, History of Aircraft Piston Engines, or L.C. Mason's Model 4-stroke engine book. Another one is, this is a favorite at shows, it's Gasoline and Oil Engines, published in 1915. People have offered to buy this from me, and I said, why don't you take a picture of this page and look it up on eBay. And I inherited this from my father, so I'm kind of partial to holding on to it. My first engine that I ever built was based on Hamilton Upsher's vertical single. It's a 3/4 by 7/8 Bourne stroke engine. I modified it considerably, giving it more cooling, enough so that it could melt this Perry carburetor on a previous manifold setup, running at about $6,000 for 20 minutes. That would be this carburetor. I know it would do 7,500 RPMs because of this Stewart Warner tack that I inherited from my father. It's a turn and 3/4 around, by the way. I have been in the process of rebuilding this, and I have the new crankshaft, the new camshaft, the new cylinder head in intake and exhaust manifolds, which the muffler will bolt onto, and I've not made the intake manifold for that. This used a, instead of his 6-block construction, I used a central crankcase with ball bearings for crankshaft and camshaft, and I used a, since the shaft is 5/16, if I used a metric bearing here, it gave me 3/1000 clearance up to that point there where the bearing rides. This photo album is the one that I put out so people can page through it and see it in different stages of construction, from the base with the CDI ignition and the battery pack, and muffler that did work but didn't like to stay on. This was a photo of machining the camshaft using the CamCalc program and a rotary table. This engine I know will run 7,500 RPMs. This one, I'm guessing, this is my latest engine that I've built. It's based on Brian Ferry's build article in Model Engine Maker, or Model Engine Builder magazine. I modified his take on it, and I know it'll run more than 5 minutes. It uses splash lube inside. It has crankcase ventilation going to here. I borrowed that from RC airplane engines. I learned that I can't use that as oil lubrication because it freezes up the bearing. But on the all, it works pretty good. I have a one-way bearing that I use to start it. It is about 1 cubic inch. It's 1.125 bore and 1.1 stroke. I've done steel, silver steel ends on aluminum tubes for the push rods. It uses the CDI ignition and a Hall sensor for the pickup. Roller rockers and roller lifters, which are kind of hard to see because it's inside. I also use it's called a chicken hopper gas tank, and it's split in half right in that band there, and it has 2 tubes, differing levels, so when the fuel level gets below 1 level, it allows oxygen into the top through this tube, and it keeps the fuel at a relatively even level, kind of acting as a float. It is 7 to 1 compression ratio. I can start it up right now. Y'all want to see it run, right? I gotta let it's cooled off too much. And there it is. One of the guys in one of the local groups had a horsepower, a pony brake set up for horsepower, and you put a leather belt around here and use scales, and at about 6,100 RPMs this is producing about 1/3 of a horsepower. This is the photo album I have. A lot of you familiar with the forum would see many of these pictures on my build article on the forum. So different views of construction. I made the cylinder on a 3/4 inch mandrel because that was the largest one I had. Turned out pretty good if I do say so myself. Now if you were here in person you could page through this to your delight, but that's why this is virtual. Here's making the connecting rods. There's a nickel in there for perspective. This is the rocker arms. This is the piston doing the inside. The cylinder head. And different views of the cylinder head. that was a failed attempt at a muffler. I gave up on that one. And there it is. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming and seeing my part of the show. Enjoy.